So here we are in my apiary, my bee yard again, and it's been a little over 3 weeks since I've been here. I have since been on 2 week-long vacations with Boy Scouts, and one took me down to Florida and the other took me to a mountain man camp. Well, I've come back and I found my yard overgrown and I haven't checked on my bees, so that's what I'm going to do right now. It's really hot out here. It feels like it's about 85. I haven't checked the temperature. But we're going to start down here. Come on down. So I'm looking for signs. Everybody's doing all right. Okay. Now, I went ahead and I put this box on before I left. Go that way. I put this box on before I left, just to see whether they were going to start building on it. So it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull this one off. And we're going to go straight down to the bottom one. Take a look. A lot of comb in here. This is the box that I took a frame of brood, and I stuck it in here because they had lost their queen. So I'm gonna take a quick peek up in here and see how everybody's doing. They still haven't pulled all the drone out here, or they still haven't pulled wax, I mean, on some of these frames. I was hoping by now it would be. So they're starting to pull it here. They're starting to pull honey. You can see where they've just started capping the outside. Ideally, these should be all filled at the moment. But let's see if we can find ourselves some brood. Working our way back. It's all filled honey. Make sure I don't have any problems in here with insects. I've got some bulbs here. I can see the eggs. Can you see the eggs in there? See the larvae down the bottom? Look how dark this one is. All right. So the fact that I've got eggs on that one, let's see, if we have eggs on more than one, that means I now have a queen in there doing her job, and I do. Which means that they have created a queen cell, and they have since made a queen. At least I'm hoping. I said I'm still new at all this, and but they look like there's a lot of females. I don't see a lot of drones, meaning that there shouldn't be a laying worker in here, which was something I feared before. I am surprised to see how dark the cappings are on top of the brood. I got to admit, the pattern is not ideal, but this is the original swarm hive that I set up. Honey looks really good, really strong. Let's see here. Give a little bit to my cameraman. How you like that?
Oh wow. That's wow.
That's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I know, there's nothing better than fresh honey. Alright, well, I do wish that there were more frames that have been drawn out, but they seem to be doing all right. I think it's time to get my mentor over here and have him take a look at all these for me. So I'm going to close this up and then we're going to start the next one. Pause. Alright, this is the second hive. We're going to go into it. I threw a couple of supers on here just recently. Don't seem to be any activity there. Oh, well, now I know why. I still got my separator on here. Thinking of another hive. So we're going to open up this, see if it's time for me to go ahead and stick another box on there. These guys don't look like they're doing good at all. Let's see here. Let's take this one out. I know this isn't a regular hive tool that I use. It's just an old putty knife. I find it comes in really handy for the things that I do here. So nothing. Starting to pull comb. Now the first hive box, I'm pretty sure, yeah, see, they're starting to pull comb, but wow, it's already dark. They're not doing the greatest job. So I think I might end up having to order a couple of queens. I was hoping not to do that. But while I'm thinking that there's not a queen inside of here. I've got a guy that does all this stuff. It doesn't live too far from us up north. I don't particularly like dealing with him. But if I have to, I have to. What do we got here? Alright, you see this here? This larvae right here is probably a small hive beetle. Not good. I haven't seen one in here yet, but it doesn't mean they're not here. But it does show that my hive, go ahead and look down in there. It does show that my hive is a little weak, and so I might have small hive beetles that are getting into here. The bees have pulled, I pulled two of them out, two of the larvae from them. So the bees are trying to take care of themselves, but look at this. No eggs, nothing. They're not pulling comb, they're not doing anything. I think the best thing for me to do with this one is to combine them. Now these are Corollians, I think I pronounced that right. Yeah, nothing. I think I'm going to take these guys right here and I'm going to combine them with hive number 1, which are Italians, but you know what? At this point, I just want hives that are going to survive. So we're moving on to hive number 3 now. My cameraman, my son, watch his thumb right there. My cameraman, my son, he asked me why don't I smoke these things, and well, to be honest, I've never really had a need to smoke them yet. Now look, see all these small hive beetles? Look at that, whole bunch of them. Okay, that's not good. So this is a hive that I'm going to need to treat. See, they're fighting these small hive beetles like crazy. So I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to work a little bit. I'm going to kill some of these small hive beetles off. They are fighting like crazy trying to stop these things. There's a lot in this hive, which I'm not happy about. Hive beetles, they destroy the nest. They can fly. They lay their eggs in here. They create these really large larvae. I think I got them all. So that's a bad sign right off the bat. So I heard tell that there was a guy down in Florida who doesn't have problems with small hive beetles because he uses roach poison You know, and he takes one of those signs, you know, that you find out on the road. Beekeepers keep talking about them. Got the corrugated insides. It's all made of plastic, and you make a little strip and you cut it down and you fold it in half, and then you put the roach poison on the inside and you fold it back and you put a piece of duct tape on it, and then you just put it in the bottom of your hive. And what it does is it's like a roach motel. You know, the beetles go in but they don't come out, and the bees can't get in. So I'm going to go try that. I've already bought some. So it looks like, for the most part, what the bees have done is they've chased them up to these top supers. I was hoping that they'd be using them, but apparently they're not, so they haven't gotten to that point yet. Like I said, on some of these I just stuck the stuff on before I left because I wasn't sure how energetic some of these hives were going to be. Alright, so as you can see down in here, let me pull this. Look, what do you see? Oh, small hive beetles out the butt. You recording this?
Yeah.
Not good. So that is way too many. That's an infestation. I was hoping not to use chemicals. We'll see. I'm going to try the roach stuff first before I go to the heavier stuff. If you see any more, let me know. Look at that.
Oh,
Heavy with honey.
I want some.
Heavy with honey. Heavy, heavy, heavy with honey. What do you see?
Honey.
Oh, honey. Now this honey right here hasn't been capped yet, so as far as the bees are concerned, it hasn't reached the right moisture content. But there's eggs already up on in the second deep. It looks like they must have just got up here not too long ago because they're just starting to pull. I think it is time, however, for me to pull these out. Probably should have done that before. Don't move so fast and you'll be fine. You can look down the side here if you like. Okay, so I'm going to put these frames back in. Then I'm going to move down to the box below it. See how they're doing down there. I think I got an extra frame right there. Can you hand me that frame right there? Okay. Alright, so we'll grab these guys. They go up here. Alright, so it looks really good down here. Now they haven't pulled the frames on these two, but everything else looks like they've already drawn comb. And this is kind of the way it was when I left a few weeks ago. They hadn't quite pulled this many. That's why I stuck the second box on. Make sure you back up every once in a while to get a full view. So got some nice fat. Now this is the funny thing that I've noticed with these bees right here is they make one side really fat, even though it's close to it. They make one side really fat and then nothing on this side.
Give me some more honey.
Give you some more honey. You see all that? It's all fresh honey there.
Yeah, I know, I see it.
So watch here, let me show you again. Watch this one. It's the same thing. They do it every time. Watch out, babies. Watch out, babies. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Oh, this one's heavy. So you can see how fat it is. It shouldn't be that fat.
I can help with that. Oh, it's dripping.
Yep.
Something just dripped out.
Yep, it's honey.
Oh.
Alright. So there's lots of pollen.
Why are they all
And
pumped
honey.
up on that?
What I don't see at the moment are some eggs, even though I saw them upstairs. I guess they've already moved upstairs. Oh, no, there's some. There's some babies right there. You can see them inside. Okay, so we got some larvae there. That's good. And I got some capped larvae. So, Queen's in there somewhere. She's doing her job. We're going to close this one up. Then I'm going to move on. We'll move on to the next one. I think these girls right here, even though they're not bothering me, they're not buzzing me, they're not stinging my cameraman. So they're really calm. They're doing good. I think they're going to be fine. So close this back up. Oh, all right. I'm going to take over from my cameraman. He's going to put everything back. I just had my appendix out. I'm not supposed to be lifting stuff. So he's going to do it. The two right there, no, these two, no, the right here, this right here. Just grab the whole thing and put the whole thing on top.
You need this?
Nope. Just leave it where it's at. You got to grab everything, all three of them. Take the top one off first if you have to. Alright, I'm going to pause. Alright, so we're going into hive 4 now. Gotta love the roaches always trying to find a place. So we got two hive beetles, 3 hive beetles. We'll take a quick look inside of here. See what we got. Wow. So I got a bunch of burr comb. I think it's time to go ahead and put the next one on there. So I got a bunch of burr comb here full of honey. Oh man. Come on, get off. Alright. You can see the honey here. I'm going to give it to my cameraman.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Come on. Mmm, yummy. How's that taste?
Okay, really good.
It tastes really good. Alright, here you go. So come along over here and take a look inside, please. So as you can see on my top, I got a lot of burr comb up there, which isn't good. So I'm going to be scraping this off. Scraping off my burr comb. Got a whole bunch up here. The way they're hugging this thing, you'd think that it was full of honey. So they're just robbing out the rest of their honey now. Since I've been into it, they're going to try to eat whatever honey is on there. And I had to keep them busy. As long as I keep my cameraman out of it, they shouldn't mind. Alright, so we're going to take a look over here real fast. Again, they haven't done the outer frames. We'll move our way in. Haven't seen any more hive beetles. Just the 3 that were up on top that were roasting. There is some pollen. There's some pollen on that one. Little tiny bit of honey. Mostly pollen. You can come closer. We've got capped honey up on top. We've got some honey in the middle. Got a lot of capped honey on this side. Again, it's a lot darker. Oh, wait a minute, those aren't capped. It's not capped honey, it's capped brood. Just kind of in a weird place. I guess she's working, the queen's working her way outward. You think that they would reuse the same cells over and over again, but you know, they're bees and they know better than I how to run their hive, like I would think that I know better than them how to run my household. Some more capped brood. Not the best of patterns. I keep trying to find that beautiful classic pattern, the rainbow pattern, but as you can see right here, most of this has got pollen all in it. And we got honey up on top, and this is all brood here. But again, I don't see many males. Meaning I got a laying queen in there. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing. So that's good. So this hive right here has already been combined with another one. If you guys remember my earlier video of that hive or the swarm that I caught that I believed had been poisoned.
Hey, are dragonflies bad for hives?
Dragonflies eat bees, yes they do.
Cool. I've seen like 4 of them now.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay, everything's got to eat. There is a food, there's a food chain, you know, that we all follow. Look at that. Now that is all capped brood. That's the way it's supposed to look. That is a full frame of brood there, and when all those girls hatch, there's going to be over 3,000 of them right there. Because there's about 3,500 cells on each side, so about 7,000. So I'm looking at about maybe 5.5.
A lot of stuff is dripping.
Yeah, it's just honey. So, as I said before, it's really hot out here. Sweat's starting to get down to my eyes. Luckily, I only got one more hive to take a quick peek at. So, there's that beautiful pattern, you know, where babies were, babies are, honey. It's all capped cells. So this is really good. As you can, if you can come closer, son, and get it up in here, you can see. Looks like that one was pulled. Some of these aren't, some of them aren't capped yet. See here, this one's not finished, that one's not finished being capped, that one's not finished. Okay, so let's close this one up and we will move to the next one. Come here, girls. In there.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't put them back where they're supposed to go, they won't know where to go. And if they try to get into, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead. Most of those are done. So I'm going to sit this on that, and now I am going to double this one up. I hate crushing bees, but I find that the more that I have, the more I can just not worry about it. Alright, so let's get into this last one. This was the very last one that I caught. So if you folks remember, this is the one that was on the ground, sitting on the stones. Been up there in the tree for a while. So let's see how they're doing. So I threw this super on when I got back home a couple of weeks ago. And I threw this one on before I left. But while there are bees up inside the super, they have not started drawing comb on it yet. So the way this one was going, I mean total gangbusters, I was starting to think that I might actually get honey out of these guys this year. But then again, it is late June, so who knows, there might be something later. So let's take a quick look here. Again, here's another box that needs to come out. You can see that they've been used to going inside of it, but I'm no longer going to feed these girls. Not when I know that there's a lot of drink out there. There's a lot of nectar out there. Okay, so we're going to go backwards on this one. Capped honey. Capped honey. Okay. This has been, now this doesn't look good at all. That is pretty ugly. It's shoddy. There's a lot of boys there. As you can see, I've got a queen cell right here. Okay, it's already capped. Small hive beetle. So I got a queen cell, one queen cell, so I'm gonna have to go through this whole thing. Okay. So maybe the queen that came with his hive is starting to fail. I mean, the queen cell's on the bottom, which makes me believe that it's a, was it on the bottom? Is it on the bottom, son? Where was it? Where'd my queen cell go? Okay, yeah, it's on the bottom, which makes me believe it's a swarm cell.
Alright, I gotta back up.
Stinging you? It off?
Yeah. No, I did not.
Oh. Okay, so he didn't turn it off. Can you just film it from right there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you get stung?
Almost.
Almost. So they're just headbutting you.
No. Ow!
Oh, that one got him.
Ow!
Alright, they're following me. I'm sorry. Alright?
Yeah.
Wow. Got a couple more queen cells in here. Those are supersede cells. Sorry, son. They're following me. So they're pulling in honey really, really good. I actually expect a lot from this one. So it looks like this is going to be the hive that I'm going to have to worry about when it comes to smoke. They might smell the crushed bees on my gloves. He didn't get stung until I came over to him. Sorry about that, son. Alright, so now it's time to check the bottom hive real fast. Ah! Oh, heavy, 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 heavy. Alright. Let's see how they're doing down here. So they're just starting to pull it on the last frame, which is good because they're definitely pulling the top frames. So lots of pollen. So far no brood down on the bottom. Looks like everything's already been done. The bees are starting to get a little upset with me. This is definitely a little bit more aggressive hive. They don't seem to bother me too much. They're just buzzing around my face. But it looks like they've already gone through all of this. Got honey down there. Alright, well they've got one queen cell. So if it's a supersedure cell, I'm just going to let them do their thing. Queen might be failing. And they've decided to replace her, which is a good thing if she is failing. I mean, she did go through a lot when I collected that swarm. Oh, let's close these girls back up. I got a queen excluder on here with my supers, even though they're not up in the supers yet. Who knows? Maybe once the new queen comes in, you know, the next flow starts, they'll be a little bit more interested in getting up there, though they are constantly pulling in honey. So we're going to close this up. Spider web. Alright. So I'm out of here. Keep it on. Right here. So, this is Thurman from Burnley Farm Apiaries. Wishing you well. Take care.